We're recording.
Okay, great. Thank you, Dee Dee. All right. Welcome, everybody. It's Friday, and we're in the third section. If memory serves me right, today we should be working on the transition from Fair Lady Work Shuttle to left ward off, and then we'll go right into Snake Creeps Down. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and start our practice. We will start from cross hands, and we'll go all the way up to single whip before Snake Creeps Down. Okay? Oh, no, we won't. We'll go to the last Fair Lady Work Shuttles. Okay. All right. Start at cross hands. Okay, from here, embrace the tiger, return to the mountain.
Return the mountain.
Roll back. Press. Push. Diagonal single whip. Wild horse. Parts its mane. 1, 2, 3, 4. Transition to ward off left. Right. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. Fair Lady Work Shuttles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we stop here. Okay, how's everybody doing? Anybody have any questions on what we've done so far? Scroll, Michael.
Yes, Nancy,
Yes.
can you do some modifications for the shuttle number 2 and 4 on the footwork?
Sure.
I can't get all the way around.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to shift back and we're going to turn and turn as much as you can. It doesn't matter if your foot goes to the straight 12 or 6 o'clock direction. When you shift your weight back, bring your right foot in towards your heel. Then shift your weight to the right and pivot so that your foot now, left foot points to the straight direction. Step out to the corner and then move your weight. So now you should be in a good bow stance to the corner, front left corner, okay? So how that's going to work with our arms, we shift back and we press down. We're going to just open like we normally do here. Now as we shift back and come to the center, we're going to rotate the arms. Then when the arms cross, we're pivoting. Then from here, step out, separate the arms, and then move weight into your bow stance. Yes, no? Okay, here again. All right, move weight back, press down. Turning to the right, open. Keep your elbows in front of your body. As you move weight back, bring your right foot to the middle. Rotate your arms. When you turn your body to the right, close your arms and pivot. Then separate your arms and then strike going into your shuttle and into your bow stance. Yes? Okay. Okay, anybody else have any questions? Okay, that's a no. All right, okay, so we have a small transition from Fair Lady Work Shuttle number 4 to ward off left. So we've done Wild Horse Parts its main. So in Wild Horse Parts its main, we're like this, and we shift back and we turn, and the right foot goes 45 degrees, and we shift back and we sit, and then we close the arms, we bring the left foot in and we step, and then we go into ward off left, okay? It's similar footwork, but we're not gonna bring the left foot in. And what we're gonna do here is when we shift our weight back, the left arm is gonna rotate palm facing up. Now we are in roll back, okay? So if you notice, here is roll back. When we're at right ward off and we rotate, this is ward off, this is roll back. So we go into a roll back looking position. Then from here, we're gonna turn, keep the arms the same shape. And the right foot points to the front right corner. As we shift our weight back, we're gonna close the arms and we're gonna pivot. Then we're just gonna step out wide enough for a bow stance, and then we're gonna go to ward off left, okay? So the differences between the Wild Horse Parts its main and Fair Lady Work Shuttles transition to ward off left is we go into roll back looking position from the shuttles, and then we just step out. In Wild Horse Parts its main, we keep the arms the same shape, and then when we shift back and we sit, now we have this position. Then we bring the left foot in and close the arms and step. So that's what differentiates between the two. So here we are at the last shuttle. We shift weight back, rotate the left arm, and let the right arm just drop down, okay? So now the left fingers are pointing to the right middle forearm. Make sure you have good space in your left armpit. So we have our shape. Then turn to the left, keep the same shape, arm shape, and have your right foot point to the front right corner. As you shift your weight back, close your arms, sitting, and then step out. Then ward off left. So don't have to worry about bringing that left foot in. All right, one more time. From here, shift weight back, rotating the left arm. We're in roll back. Turn, pivot, shift back, closing the arms, pivot on the left ball of the foot. Step out and go to ward off left. Okay, and remember with ward off left, try not to have this shape. I want you to have this shape. So don't have your left arm, don't have a bend here. See how I'm kind of have a bend? All right, I want you to have more of a straight looking arm. So if you relax your arm and you look to your left and you just swing or look to your right and you swing your left arm up, this is what your left arm should look like, okay? So if you swing your arm up and you have this bend, this will not work on a martial level. This will not work as well because we have a bend here. This is one of the rare movements that our arm is pretty straight, okay? So make sure that when you swing your arm, that's why I say it's kind of like bowling. You know, you swing your arm and your arm is kind of extended out. So we would not, when we bowl, we would not swing it like this because then the ball, who knows where the ball's gonna go, okay? So we need to swing, okay? So from here, from the last shuttle, shift back, go into roll back, turn to the left, pivot, shift back, close your arms, pivot on the left ball of the foot. Now our arms are closed. Step out and throw your ball. Ward ward off left. Okay. Now, Veronica, your left foot must be in front. Okay. Your other left foot, you should be in a left bow stance going to 12 o'clock, not an angle. We're at a 12 o'clock direction, straight direction with the left foot. Okay. So when we're like this, when we're in this position, we shift back and we turn and pivot on our heel so that now it's pointing at a 45 degree. And we shift back and pivot because we need to settle the hips. Then step out wide enough and move weight forward. So now we're in a bow stance going to 12 o'clock. Okay. All right. So one of the important things here is when we do this movement, we must make sure that when we step out, we're stepping out into a good bow stance. Okay. So what do I mean? So say I'm like this, and I shift back and I turn. And I shift back and I pivot. Okay, watch my footwork. Step. Ward off left. There's no way that I'm in a good bow stance. I do not have shoulders width apart between my feet. So when you step out into this left bow stance, you must make sure and say to yourself, okay, from here, okay, I got to step wider. Step wide enough so that now I do have shoulders width apart between my feet. This is one of the areas, this and from the transition from wild horse parts of Maine, where people tend to, when they step out, they'll step too narrow. So you have to make sure that you're stepping wide enough. Even when we start off in the form, in the first section, you know, the first movement is ward off left, right? So oftentimes we find people, when they step out, they'll step out like, they'll bring their foot in. So they'll step like this. So I don't want you to bring your foot in, okay? You need to step straight out. So here, I need for you to make sure that when, after you pivot and you're sitting in the back, if you notice your feet, right now you're kind of in a cross, empty stance. We need to go shoulders width apart between our feet. Step wide enough and then move weight forward. Okay? All right, so let's try this again. From here. Okay? All right, move weight back, going to roll back. Turn, your arms the same shape. And now right foot is at the front right corner. Shift weight back, close your feet, pivot, step out wide enough. Then ward off left. Yeah, that looks better. That looks better. Okay. How are we doing? This is Michael, what are you doing? Scroll. This is one of the areas that we need to really kind of make sure that we're paying close attention to make sure that our footwork is right. Okay, so let's try this one more time.
Nancy, question?
Yes.
Can I ask a question, Nancy? All right, so when you do your pivot and you close your arms, if you're doing this in real time, is that where your close is, or is your close with your step out the way it would be, but you're teaching us slowly? Can you address that just so in my head I can get that?
Okay. The general rule of thumb, our timing is when our arms close, we step. Right? Okay.
Right.
So if I'm here and I turn and I sit back and I pivot, I step because my arms are pretty much already in this area. Back and turn. As I shift back, now I'm closing my arms, I'm pivoting, and then I'm going to step.
Okay, that was my question. That's right. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Good questions. Timing is everything. Yeah, we have to make sure that our timing is right. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay. All right. So, so from this point, then we would go to grasping the bird's tail. Then we would go to single whip. All right. So after single whip, we're going to go into snake creeps down. Okay. So we know we're in a good bow stance, and I'll have these here as a guide. Okay. So we know we're in a good bow stance where one foot points straight and the other one's pointing 45 degrees. All right. So here we are at single width. What I want you to do, okay, what I want you to do is we're needing to open up the back foot at a 45 degree. No, actually we're going, yeah, 45 degrees. Okay, so I need for your back foot to now point at the front corner. Okay, so from here, we're in this bow stance. Now I need for you to pivot on your right heel and turn it so that it's going at a diagonal. Okay, so from here, open your right foot. Now we're going to shift our weight back to the right leg. Now here, what's real important, let me go this direction. Here, what is important is that this knee follow this foot, okay? Your knee, your right knee must follow your right foot. So the one thing that I like to tell everybody is it's not how low you go. It's how right your posture is and your alignment is, okay? So if you did this movement and you opened your foot and you shifted back and you went like this, and now your knee is in line with your foot, you are in a good position. If you want to go further down, if you want to sit more, but your knee comes inward, this is now not right, okay? And what you're going to eventually do is hurt your inside hip and your knee area, okay? So we want to make sure that we're in correct body alignment, okay? So when we open up the foot, I want you to just shift back enough to where your knee is in line with your foot. If you want to sit from this point on, your knee must stay aligned with your back foot, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to push from the back foot just a little bit and kind of go forward just a little bit. All right, so we're still going to be like in an empty stance, okay? So from here, we're at 60-40. We're going to pivot and open the right foot to the corner, shift our weight back and sit, then move weight forward just a little bit. Just push off just a little bit so you might feel like you're kind of in the middle, okay? So that's what we're doing with our feet. Anybody have any question on the footwork? Okay, that's no. All right. So
Actually, Nancy, this is Allison. The way I'm seeing your video, the front line of your box is cut off. I'm missing a little bit of your feet.
Okay. Can you point it down more, Michael? You can't point it down more. Okay.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Oh, okay. Can you see my feet now?
Oh, yes, that's great. That's great.
Oh, okay. Can you
Oh,
move it?
it kind of bounced back up again.
Can you turn it down just? If I'm like this, can you see my feet?
Yes, I can see them both there.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this right foot to the corner. Then I'm going to shift my weight back and I'm going to sit a little bit. Okay. Then I'm going to move my weight forward just a little bit so I'm kind of like in the middle. Okay. All right. Again, from here, let me go this direction. Open your foot, shift back, make sure your knee is in line with your foot. Then move to the middle a little bit. Push with the back leg just a little bit so that you're kind of sitting in the middle. Okay? How's that, Allison?
Good, thank you.
Okay. All right. So now let's talk about the left arm. All right. Everybody knows so far that Yang Family is known for its big round movements, right? Okay. So from here, we're at single width. So what I want you to do is bring your left arm back and then press down with your wrist and go forward a little bit. So it's kind of like making this U shape. From here, back, down, and forward a little bit. Yeah, like a letter C. Back, down, and forward a little bit. From here, back, down, and forward. Yeah, like that, okay? We don't have to worry about the right arm. Not really. It should stay in the same place. So when we do this movement and we open up the back foot, as we move our weight to the right leg, the left arm's going to come back. As we sit, the arm's going to go down. Then we're going to move weight to the middle, and the left hand should be inside the left foot area. So don't be on this side of your leg, be on the inside of your leg, okay? So from here, open, shift back, bring your left arm in, sit as your left arm comes down, and push a little bit and move your left arm forward just a little bit. So it may be just a little, your fingers may be a little ahead of your left toes, or it could be, you know, about the same. It just really kind of depends on how much you went forward. So your left hand is parallel to your left foot, and your left arm is in line with your left leg, but the hand is inside the leg. Okay, so we're making this C shape. So here what I want you to think about is, if somebody's grabbing your wrist, we bring them back, and then what we're going to do is we're going to actually press down. We're going to push down, we're going to push down, and then we're going to move forward just a little bit. Okay? Yeah, that looks pretty good, Veronica. That's pretty good. Okay. Let's see, where are we at single whip? Oh. Okay, so here we are at single whip. Okay? All right. Open your right foot. Keep your right hand still having the hook hand. As you shift your weight back, bring the left arm back. Sitting, the left arm goes down, pushing forward a little bit, and the left arm moves forward just a little bit. So now we're in this position. This is snake creeps down, or we call this low posture, or we call this poo step, low posture step. I don't want you guys to do this too much because I want you to be able to function for the rest of today. Make sure the most important component for me when I teach this movement is that when you sit back, this right knee must follow this right foot. Then move weight forward. It should still be in line. So even if you did this movement like this, this is correct because your knee is in line. If you did this movement like this, can you now see my knee is coming inward? My knee is no longer in line with my foot. So regardless of how much you sit or how little you sit, your right knee must follow your right foot, okay? That's the bottom line for me in this movement. Oftentimes when I see Tai Chi players doing this movement, it'll make my stomach hurt if I see when they go down that their knee collapses in. And that's a very common thing, is that, you know, people want to make sure they get low to the floor. You know, we see Master Young, you know, he's been doing this since he was 5. So, you know, he's pretty, you know, like elastic. You know, he can do a lot of miraculous things. So anyway, we have to make sure that we're correctly aligned, okay? All right, so let's take it from the last shuttle. So we look like this. Is this the right direction? No, it'd be like this. It would be like this. We're at the back corner. Okay. All right. Shift weight back. Rotate the left arm. Now you look like roll back. Turn to the left. Pivot. Shift back. Start closing your arms. Pivot. Arms closed. Step. Then move weight forward. Left arm comes up. Right arm goes down. Is your left arm relatively straight? Then we go to right ward off. Making sure you're in a good bow stance. Roll back. Make sure your left knee is in line with your left foot. Press. And push. And here, make sure you're not passing your foot. Make sure your knee doesn't go past your toes, okay? Then we go to single whip. And then we go to cloud hands. We go to 1, 2, 3. Step into the corner. We go to single whip. Snake creeps down, open the foot, shift back, bring the left arm in, sit, arm goes down, move weight forward just a little bit. This is the end posture of snake creeps down. Now, one of the other most common, oh, go ahead, stand up. One of the other most common mistakes people make is their hook hand. Sometimes when they do this, then they'll start to turn this hook hand. Your hook hand needs to stay the same, okay? Those of us that know the 24, we know that when we do the thing that the hand comes, you know, kind of pointing upward, okay? So we know that we need to make sure that it stays like in single whip position, okay? Instead of coming behind the back or turning here to face towards the side direction, okay? All right, so let's try that again. Let's do it from the last shuttle. So we look like this. Okay, right foot forward. All right, shift back, go to roll back. Turn, pivoting to the front right corner. Shift back, start closing your arms. Arms closed, step. Make sure you're wide enough. Then ward off left. Is your left arm kind of straight? Shift back, go to ward off right. Rotate. Closing the arms, step. Ward off right. Roll back, turning. Rotate the arm, shift back. Press, turn back. From in, we expand out. Separating the arms to shoulders width, shift back. Make sure your right knee is in line with your right foot and you're behind your toes. Single whip. Cloud hands. We go 1, 2, 3. Single whip. Snake creeps down, open, shift back, arm comes in, down, and pushing off, we go forward just a little bit. And we're looking at the left hand direction forward. Don't look at your hand, looking beyond your hand, looking the direction that it's pointing to. Is your left hand on the inside of your left foot? Okay? And is your right knee in line with your right foot? The correct answer is yes. Okay, is yes. Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions on these movements?
I have a question, Nancy. It's Allison.
Okay.
How high should your hook hand be while it's hanging out there?
Oh, that's a great question. Okay. Our wrist should match about the height of our neck. Okay. So, yeah, so the wrist should be about neck height. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
I have another one actually on the left hand. What shape should that be? Is it a strike kind of hand like it was originally? Or is it,
You mean at the end?
yeah,
No, at the end, what it should be is it should be just like pointing. What we're basically doing here is somebody's grabbing you. We pull them in, and then we want to actually break the hold. Or what we can do here is we come forward, and then we can kind of the next movement is going to be Golden Rooster. So what we can do is then open it up and then kick. So we can do that. So so yeah, just think of from here, you know, somebody's grabbing you, we bring them back, we press down to kind of get them off of our hand if we can. We move forward, then we'll transition to Gingy Dooley, the Golden Rooster. So here we will grab their wrist. Yeah, so, okay. All right, any other questions? Scrolling. Okay, no questions? All right, let's start.
I have a question.
Okay,
Okay. When you come down for snake creeps down, your knee is lined up with your foot. Where is your hip lined up?
where's your hip lined up?
So, in other words, if you come back and your knee is lined up with your foot,
Okay, what direction is our hip pointing?
is your hip lined up with both your knee and your foot?
My hip right now is open. Okay, so it's not square. It's okay. So see how it's lined up here for single whip. Okay, I'm a little bit more than corner. Okay, then from here when I open, see how it turns a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, and when I sit back, it just stays like that. And I go forward, it just stays like that.
It's still diagonal.
Yeah, it's still not straight. It's more turned.
It's diagonal.
Yeah, okay, so Michael says it's more diagonal.
Okay.
Okay, so if you did something, gosh, I don't know how you would do. If you turn a little bit more, okay, all right. Our hip controls everything that goes beyond it, okay, below it. If I turn my hips too much, my left knee is going to come inward. This is not correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to still make sure everything stays in alignment. So when I open my hip, when I turn my right foot to the back corner, I'm opening up my hip joint. But I'm keeping my left knee in line with my left foot, and my right knee now is in line with my right foot. Then I'm just going to move my weight back. Okay, so the hip direction is not going to change. And then I'm going to move weight a little bit towards the middle. My hip direction now has not changed. The time that it changes is when we open. And when we sit back, now it's kind of over towards the right a little bit. But from that point on, it stays the same.
Okay. That's good. It really means that you have to have a very open hip.
You have an
Yes.
exercise for that?
Yes. I'm not going to teach them that.
Oh.
Okay. So one of the things that you can do is you can swing your knee. Okay. So from forward to the side, down, make like a circle. Yeah, like that. Okay. And then make sure that you do both sides. Okay. Because we don't want you to wind up having Tai Chi hip, okay? Okay, so, or you can do the butterfly exercise that I showed where you're sitting or, you know, that you can do that. You know, there's other exercises that you can do. So I want you to be kind of careful about this because it's very easy to do too much with your inside hip joint, your quad area, your groin area. And, you know, I have personal experience with this. One time when I was at practice, I did snake creeps down, and I heard this pop, 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 3 pops. And then, you know, I kept doing my form, okay, and then the last one, you know, again, it went pop, 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 and then we finished the form. And then afterwards I thought, okay, well, gosh, I really wonder what that was. So I went in and I did this, and then I could not really get back up. I tore some ligaments. And so the next day I was supposed to be on a plane with Master Yang to go to Thunder Bay for the symposium that they were having, where they invited all the Grand Masters, their first time all together to North America. I wasn't able to go because I injured myself so badly. You know, Tai Chi is supposed to be easy on the body, but, you know, when you overdo yourself, then you can get hurt. So again, it's not how low you go in this movement. It's how right your posture is, okay? So when you go to sit, you know, even if you did this movement like this is right as long as this is here and you know, you're in good posture. So I don't want you to hurt yourself.
So Nancy, yeah, I'm not muted. This is Dee Dee. So if we're particularly tight, would it be reasonable at the beginning to not quite put that foot to the corner?
Oh, sure.
Would that be okay? Then we're not open quite so far and everything's easier to align. I remember I used to cheat like that a lot.
You know, you can call it cheating or you could call it modifying. We do what our body's able to do without pushing it to the point where we cause injury or pain to ourselves.
Right.
If you look on YouTube and you look at a lot of videos and you look at people doing snake creeps down, oftentimes their back foot will not go to the corner. Oftentimes their foot will go straight or a little bit more than straight. And then sometimes their front foot will be turned towards the 45-degree angle. This actually allows a better flexibility. But in the traditional Yang family form, they want us to be more open. So, yes. So that's why, you know, if you're here and you can open up to the corner and you shift back, make sure this knee still follows this foot, okay? That's what's really, really important, that your back knee must follow your back foot wherever it points in this movement, okay? So good point, Dee Dee. Yes, so if you need to modify a little bit, go ahead and modify. You don't have to go to the front corner, right corner. You can go a little less than that. Do what you're able to do, then we just move on to the next movement, yeah. Okay, any other questions? Okay. What I want you guys to do is rest your hip joints for the rest of tonight, okay? Tomorrow morning, when you're nice and fresh, hopefully you're nice and fresh, okay? After you got a good night's sleep, then do a couple, and then go do your day, and then later in the day, come back, do 1 or 2, and then go enjoy the rest of your day. Don't do like 10 or 20 at the same time, okay? I don't want you to hurt yourself, and I don't want you to overdo yourself. So do a little bit, and accept where your body can go. Right? Don't push yourselves beyond your ability right now, okay? I had to give up the challenge of I'm never going to be able to sit as low as Master Yang. because I need for you to always remember, especially in this movement, and Nila Sibata, we're going down. All right, so whatever comes down has to come back up. So you don't want to get stuck down there, okay, and not be able to get back up. That's kind of embarrassing, right? So go as low as you're comfortable, knowing that you can get back up, okay? So just remember to keep that in mind when you practice this movement this week, okay? Now, any other questions? Okay, all right, so practice this movement. Also, I will be sending out, updating this class to make sure that I'm going to actually put it to the end of June. Governor Inslee just did an announcement today that we're still going to be adhering to the majority of the stay at home, stay healthy proclamation that he had given to the end of May. I'm going to push it out to the end of June just to be on the safe side. So you'll get a notice about that change to this class. Those of you that go to the other classes, I'm going to be changing those too to go to the end of June. And so you'll be getting a notice that I've updated that. Just go ahead and click on this link and on that link, and then it'll still take you to the respective class, okay? This Sunday, Kelly's going to be leading practice. Wave, Kelly, wave, Kelly, wave. There she is. Kelly's going to be leading the practice, and Dee Dee's also going to be teching for her, so you'll have the same people with you, and Dee Dee will be there, so there's comfort knowing Dee Dee's there. And then we'll have class on Monday, okay? So everybody have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy our nice weather that we've been having, and today is the 1st of May. It's May Day, so enjoy your May Day, okay?
Bye.
All right, have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
Everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.